Hey, how's it going? Thank you everyone for joining Demand. All right. Thank you everyone for joining. Let's get started. Those of you who don't know me, my name is Adi. I'm the GM of MetaMatch at Metadata. And today I'm going to share with you my roadmap, my strategy pillars on how to go to B2C channels that we commonly associate with B2C marketing and make them successful for us in B2B. So I'll share a little bit about my journey, what brought me to even thinking about Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, all of those as kind of B2B platforms, how it connected to metadata, and then I'll share kind of my roadmap for that, which I strongly believe that each and every one of you can use in your strategy. So first off, how I even ended up looking for B2C channels as my B2B targets. Before I joined Metadata, I was a director of marketing at a company called Optimove, and all of my targets, every single one of them, were in the online gaming industry. Of course, the legal side, all of those DraftKings and all of those fantasy casinos and all of that stuff. Those people do not open LinkedIn ever, and they're running their ads, their browser with every single kind of blocker that you can think of. So even like paid search wasn't the channel, which brought me into Metadata. This is what brought me into becoming a client of Metadata. And then it led me into developing this strategy as to how to actually tackle B2B targeting on B2C channels. Now, luckily for me, this became extra relevant circa 2023, 2024, when all of us started seeing LinkedIn costs and Google paid search costs grow exponentially. So you gotta find the channel that generates the revenue for you. Right, so I'm going to be sharing my screen. I strongly hope that each and every one of you will be using this strategy when you decide whether a channel is right for you. So when we go to a B2C channel by nature, these are the areas of problem we want to make sure that we solve for, and we want to make sure that our entire marketing strategy is geared around. The first thing we want to take care of is probably the most important component, is how can we find on that B2C channel everyone that fits our total addressable market, every single audience that is my ICP. So we would want to find a tool that would help us do the demographic ICP settings and the technographic ICP settings, so that we would only target people that are from the right companies and are in the right department within the right company, and then even take it a step further, target people based on the fact that their company is using technology A or B, which is a very important factor when considering tech acquisitions. To do that, we will end up needing to boil the ocean. There's no way around it. A lot of marketers like to tell me, like, yeah, there's my total addressable market is basically endless. No, it really isn't. It isn't endless. Most of yours total addressable market is in the range of millions, not tens of millions, and most likely not even that. So you will need to find a way to capture all of them in that channel. Obviously, being the GM of MetaMatch at Metadata, we have the capability to solve that problem for you. But then just creating the audience on its own is cute and nice, and being able to talk to them is very nice. But then we need to create a really interesting, deep engagement funnel. Tofu, mofu, bofu. How do we do that on that B2C channel? How does a journey look like on Facebook, on Instagram? What does that mean that it's going to be on their mobile? And can we end up in a conversion that makes sense? All of that we need to understand when we are assessing the B2C channel's compatibility with our messaging. Then we need to talk about our messaging. That's our second pillar. Because we're going now to an experience where basically we're trying to get to a point where, as long as we got the right eyes, wherever they are, we are going to target them. We need to think a lot more strategically on the ads that they're seeing and making them kind of speak to one another almost. So that that person saw our ad on LinkedIn and then they came to our website, and maybe they saw our ad on Facebook again and then Instagram, or maybe the order was all the way around. In order to do that, we will need to organize our messaging matrix to a T. So I have here kind of the three hierarchies of messaging that I like to work with. I loved Eden's talk that is all around that. But the point is that we got to get ourselves organized so that we know which audience sees which ad. We cannot do a spray and pray when we're trying to create a much more tailored experience. The way to think about it is that we're changing our ad strategy from episodic, where like The Simpsons, where you can watch any episode and it's fine, you're not missing anything, to something that is a lot more serialized, a lot more your Breaking Bad, where the natural order of the episodes is important for you to get it correctly. And that's where we would want to go when we're doing multi-channel, so that funnel stages correlate to messaging, correlate to mobile messaging, correlates to PC-based messaging. All of that looks one of the same story. Third thing we would want to do, and this is probably the most important block here, we got to understand how to hack that native channel. In order to do that, we need to understand what are the conversions that are reasonable from that channel. For example, if we're going to Facebook and we're dropping people on a mobile landing page, first of all, it's got to be mobile compatible. Second of all, it's got to be reasonable within the experience of the user on mobile. No one will download a PDF with graphs and very specific types of technical topics into their mobile phone, or not a lot of people would. But if we could send them that PDF to their work email, now we've landed a two shot, because first off, we are able to then convert them on their PC. And second off, it is much more reasonable that they would want their PDF sent to their email rather than downloaded to their personal mobile device. So I'm trying to fit the conversion that would make sense. Taking a demo, maybe we can just drop them on a link to a calendar. Starting a trial, what is it that is reasonable to get as a conversion step for that channel that I'm on? No one will, go into their AWS S3 bucket instance and install your tool from their mobile device. So if you were doing free trial version on your PC and vice versa, it's got to correlate. As far as hacking the channel, it goes throughout everything. We're basically trying to get into a formula that allows us to speak in the tone, in the language, in the ad format, in the current trend, what is common in the channel that we're on. So if LinkedIn works really, really well for document ad types, that might not work really, really well for Facebook or Instagram, and much less so Twitter. So we want to think about what is it that we have in our content bank that can really create a buzz on a B2C oriented channel. B2C in the sense that it's got to be more playful. We are on their spare time. It's got to be more engaging. It's got to be more varied in the formats. So we got to have videos, and if we have videos, they cannot be horizontal rectangle. They got to be vertical squares. So because the person is going to consume that video on their mobile. So everything that we do needs to think about how can I hack the channel. If my targets love this type of short form videos, then let's give them that. If Facebook rewards my campaign, if my campaign has a short GIF that includes kind of a sketch of what my product does, do that. But we're kind of trying to ride on a certain trend of what is currently popping on that specific channel. Lastly, and probably most importantly in the money side of it, because up until now this was marketing voodoo, now let's get into the money side of it. How can we correlate it back into enablement and attribution? Enablement in the sense that if we're giving them an ad on their B2C channel, on their Facebook, on their IG stories, what are we promoting? Brand awareness is cool, that's fine, and you can just do brand awareness, but I like it more when you're actually trying to promote something specific that will kind of answer the question to why now and why here. So why are you reaching out to me with this ad now and why here? Is there a special offer that you give me only if I sign up here? Is there a special type of content that I will have the access to? What is unique about this moment in time that you're meeting your client that allows you to push the ad and say, you got to do it now. I cannot wait for you. Because if it's just your regular demo, right? They can just come back to your website. In their mind, they can say, yeah, I can come back to their website from my PC, but they would most likely not. So how can I create enough degree of urgency, enough degree of a candy for them to make it worth their conversion to say, I cannot risk not seeing this ad again. We got to create it. We got to create a sense of scarcity in a sense. Secondly, sales enablement. There are going to be a lot of things that are happening as a result of it. You're going to get likes on your Facebook page. You're going to get a lot of weird types of engagement. How can we push them all into our CRM marketing automation? And how can we have our salespeople know all of that? Not just, here is a lead that was qualified and that's cute. Okay. How about this is a lead that spent X amount of time on this website as a result of this Facebook ad? It's a much clearer story that allows your account executive, even if not using it, even if not saying, hi, you know that, knowing that and using it correctly in their conversation, in their sequence, in the topic that they talk about as a result of what they engage. And then we got to keep our attribution in a way that allows us to know what was triggered as a lead that we generated, what was influenced from a lead that we contributed but might not have been the person to actually generate the opportunity, and how it all ties back to money. Because unfortunately, we do not have the prerogative to just say, it is what it is, and we'll hope that the attribution would work itself out. As we discussed in the chat on previous sessions, most leadership teams won't let that lie. So we gotta find a way to tie all those UTMs. As far as has metadata thought about expanding to Reddit? Yes, we are. This is not kind of a metadata product session, but the answer is yes, and we're in the midst of kind of doing a lot of that. Yeah, I'll let my product team to kind of come out with the official notification, but you won't wait for too long, Kelsey. Cool. So if there are any questions, feel free to post them in the chat. This is basically my guide of how to integrate any new B2C channel without losing your strategy. As long as you adhere to these principles, you should find yourself making a LinkedIn out of every channel, because every channel can become a LinkedIn in the sense that you control who you target, and out of that, everything else spirals. Awesome. Thank you very much for your time. Have a great rest of your demand.